leg press, glute focused, okay? This is gonna be very dependent on the placement of your feet and where they are on the implement, okay? Now, most people having their feet pretty much in the middle of the implement, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if we wanna emphasize or bias the glutes more, the biggest thing is to focus on hip flexion, okay? We need the hips to be fully flexed in order to fully lengthen those glutes, which is the key. So the foot placement will be wider, higher, and her feet actually would be externally rotated a little bit because the external rotation is an important function of the actual glute med, okay? So external rotation doesn't have to be like exaggerated to the point where it's like 60 degrees or anything. Somewhere around a 45-degree angle will be good. And you can notice that her feet are very high on the implement, okay? Now, in terms of the setup of the machine, whatever is more comfortable for you. If you want to make this more hip dominant, you can bring this pad up a little bit higher too, but that's going to be dependent on your hip mobility as well. So another important thing is making sure that the safety is as low as we can go, because the goal is to get greatest range of motion. And sometimes that safety is too high and kind of limits us and stops us before we can actually get maximum range of motion. So she's going to press up. She's going to unrack it, set herself up, wide, externally rotated feet, high, controlling it down. So in this position in the bottom, she's going to hold it for a second. She has really extreme hip flexion, pretty much maximum hip flexion here, really lengthening those glutes as much as humanly possible. Her quads are still going to get a little bit of work, but her knees aren't fully flexed. So knee flexion, that would be emphasizing more of the quads. So this placement is exactly what you would want, pushing through the full foot, coming down, using these handles on the sides to push your body down into it, and making sure that the body does not come off of the pad, or the lower butt does not raise off of the pad as well. She's going to do one more clean rep here, pausing at the bottom and pressing up. And that is going to be your glute bias leg press.